You're listening to another episode of the Just Go Bike podcast, powered by RAGBRAI. This is the award-winning podcast where we are all about the culture of cycling, just for the fun of it. Your hosts are Murph from the Murphology podcast and AP from Parrot Talk. With tales from all over the nation, come for the bikes, stay for the fun, and leave with a smile. And now here is Murph.
Hey, that's me.
And AP.
Hey, that's me. Hi, Murph.
Hello, AP. Here we are live in Parrot Talk Studios.
I know. What a treat.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
Good. I'm very excited. I received a package in the mail, and it was all of my, RAGBRAI credentials. So pretty exciting stuff.
Yeah, all sorts of goodies in there. And just to kick off right off the bat, Erica, my coworker, asked me to say that if there was something that you were expecting to receive in your packet but you didn't, stop by and see her at the RAGBRAI Expo in Orange City, and we'll get you straightened out.
Okay. Now, something that was in my packet that I think was in everybody's packet, because I'm seeing an awful lot of chatter about it on social media, was there was a long sticker with numbers on it that I assume goes on my helmet. I'm assuming I don't have to. It's not mandatory, but I think we should just address it right now on the podcast. What is that for, and why did I get it?
Sure. I've never seen so much chatter about stickers in my life.
I know.
But it's purely because if you would like to get your photo taken on RAGBRAI, it will help identify you when you want to go look for your picture later. We will have a company out on RAGBRAI who is taking photos of RAGBRAI riders, and they'll be available online later. That's it. That's why you have the helmet sticker, because it's difficult to recognize 20,000 people individually.
Okay, so there's not some sort of GPS thing inside the sticker and it's going to track every move?
No. We have enough problems, on RAGBRAI. We don't need to worry about where everyone is. I think you'll all be good.
And think of how expensive that would be to put a little tag into your sticker.
Yeah.
Do I have to wear the sticker?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
No. If you're someone who might want a commemorative photo, a professional photo of yourself riding your bike on RAGBRAI, then put that sticker on your helmet. And if you don't want that, then do not put that sticker on your helmet. So that's all that you need to know about that. And RAGBRAI will be publishing more information later if you would like details.
And RAGBRAI.com, you'll be able to find out more information. Okay,
yeah.
Cool.
So speaking about tracking yourself on RAGBRAI, you can track yourself only by using Ride with GPS. And that's what we're here to talk about today.
And this is a possible passionate topic. Another possible passionate topic. Do you personally, AP, ride with or without keeping track of your miles and stats?
You know what? I used to be a Zen bike rider and not keep track of anything, but I've recently become a convert and I keep track of everything. Even though my numbers are pretty puny compared to people like yourself who ride a lot all the time. I do keep track of all my stats. I really enjoy seeing just how far I rode, just what that incline was on my bike ride. And I love to see all the wonderful places that I biked.
Yeah. You already know this, but I definitely keep track of all my miles, all my stats. I actually keep track of when I play pickleball. I keep track of walks. I don't make all of that public. But yes, I definitely track my miles. And it's more for myself than to, brag about stuff, because I want to see how I feel, where I've come, from January to present day, and also to look at years past.
Yeah.
I love looking at 10 years ago, I rode less miles than I did this year. Look at me. So it's definitely just a tool, a measurement tool.
Yeah. Like I said, I can't ride without it now. I like to know where I'm at in the world and what I might be riding by or things like that. So on the show today, we have Brett from Ride with GPS, which is an app that you can use to find routes, and we use it for the RAGBRAI routes, both rider and driver.
Yes, and AP is going to tell you this in our interview, but you can also look on the RAGBRAI website to find out. I believe you said it was RAGBRAI.com/route.
That's right.
And you can get all of that information. But Brett is on to tell us more details on if it's something you want to use. If it's not, if you want to be the old AP and be Zen, you certainly can.
Yeah, it's up to you, but it's really fun. It's a cool app. I encourage you to check it out, even if you don't normally do stuff like this, because it's got so much information beyond just where we're going to be biking.
All right. Well, let's get to it. Well, welcome to the podcast, Brett. How are you?
I'm well. How are you all?
Good. So here we are. We're going to talk about Ride with GPS and learn a few things that we hope, right?
Yeah. I'm so excited because like some of our other episodes this time of year, it means RAGBRAI is just around the corner.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
and Brett, before we get started talking about Ride with GPS, will you tell the listeners where you live and if you have a favorite place to bike?
Yeah, of course. My name is Brett, and like they said, I work for Ride with GPS, and I live in Boulder, Colorado. So, one of the most beautiful places to ride your bike, to hike, to get outside, and one of my favorite places to ride. I recently got an e-cargo bike, and I have a toddler, so getting her on the bike and taking her to and from school, to the park, to the pool, it's really helping form that love of cycling. We'll stop and look at deer and wild turkeys and squirrels and birds. So just getting her to be outside, feel that wind in her hair, underneath her helmet, of course.
Right.
But just having her just really get out there and enjoy it. And it's really a fun bonding experience for the two of us.
Speaking of bonding experiences, remember when we had a cargo e-bike and I was your toddler on the back?
Yeah, at Interbike, when they used to have Interbikes, we got to test a e-cargo bike. I was thinking about that too because it was so fun. I'm a little jealous.
Yeah, it was super fun.
Yeah. It just makes it a little bit easier. You can load up the panniers with snacks and food and all that good stuff. And and just go for a little bit longer than you would on a acoustic bike.
Yeah. And so you're in Boulder, Colorado. Will you be coming to Iowa for RAGBRAI?
Yeah. My colleague and I will be there. We'll be at day 0 at the expo, and probably at day 1 as well for a little mini expo. And we both hope to do part of the ride on day 1. So we might switch off. I might do half, and then he might do the other half. But we'll be at the expo, so people can stop by and say hi and ask us questions and try to stump us or just come give us high fives.
And you'll have that superpower of coming from high elevation down to Iowa.
That's true. That's very true. Yeah, I've just been training at 5,500 feet here. So I'll be sucking in all the oxygen down there.
Yeah. We live in large on day 1.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. All right. So let's get focused in on Ride with GPS. Give us a high level of what Ride with GPS is and who uses it.
Yeah, of course. So we're a cycling software platform, and we help cyclists discover and plan better cycling experiences. Whether it's using our mobile app to navigate rides or discover new areas, or people can, if they use a Garmin or a Wahoo or another GPS device, they can wirelessly sync routes to that device. Folks can even just use our app to record their rides, to keep track of their stats. We all know those people out there that like to, I rode 3,000 miles this year. I rode 3,500 miles next year. They just want to sort of up their tally every year. We have riders and users all over the world, folks in Japan, Australia, the States, South America, some of the tickets and folks we talk to, it's just really cool to see their rides and the routes they're planning and the really cool stuff they're doing. And it always makes me want to get out of my comfort zone and go ride in different places and go check out new things. And so that's a really cool aspect of the job too, to see these really amazing bike rides that folks are doing and like, oh, I'm jealous. I want to go do that. I want to take a couple weeks off and just go ride my bike in this, new, beautiful place that I've never been. So, it's a really fun, engaging tool to use.
I know I used it firsthand. This was several years ago. I was in northern Kansas City, more rural area for a wedding, and I had brought my bike. And so I went into Ride with GPS and I was like, find a route near me. And I wanted it to be less than 20 miles. And I think I found a route and it said something about rustic or rugged or a word that I should have thought it through, but I didn't. And I'm like, well, this looks fun. And a lot of people had used it. And I got a spider bite because I was going through spider webs. I had to hike a bike for a little bit. And if I just would have thought it through, it was still amazing. And I did it. And I would probably go back and do it again if I was back there.
Yeah. But that's amazing.
But it's a route I never would have found on my own.
Yeah, and that's something I was away for this weekend in a place I'd never been, and a week or so before I was searching different routes, and found a 40-mile route that I tweaked it a little bit to start and end from our hotel, and went and did this really beautiful route out to the Pacific Ocean, and routed me right back to the hotel. So yeah, just it's really. If the routes are public, if people have made them, if you come to Colorado, you can find routes that I've made. So you can come do some of the amazing climbs here and do some elevation training if you need to, some altitude training. So yeah, that's a really fun, cool aspect of the platform.
So this is something I definitely know the answer to, but listeners may be asking, is Ride with GPS a tool you use on your phone, on your home computer, on your bike computer? Is it an app? Is it a website? Can you maybe get into that?
Yeah, absolutely. It's actually all of the above. So we have a mobile app, like I alluded to, but you can also use your cycling computer. You can link your cycling computer with your Ride with GPS account and wirelessly sync routes back and forth. You could also plan routes, find routes on our website. Yeah, it's a really amazing tool that most of our community relies on. The mobile app for recording and navigating, but you can also use it as a backup if your GPS device pops off your computer. If you're on a rugged or rustic trail, sometimes you might hit a bump, and that head unit isn't as tight on your handlebars as you want. So you always have that in your back pocket. So yeah, you can use it on all three. And what we'll see for events like RAGBRAI is people will download the routes. They'll be able to navigate using their phone if they don't have a cycling GPS device, or they can send it to their GPS device as well. So it's sort of multi-purpose.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's nice for our riders who would like to use the GPS routes, but maybe don't have that fancy cycling computer. They probably have a phone, so they can still use it and make full experience of the Ride with GPS route files. So it's super nice. Speaking of the RAGBRAI routes, let's talk about some of the cool features on the app, because I've taken a look at the RAGBRAI routes and they are full of cool like sights to see and where the bike shops are and things like that. So let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, that's a good call out. We just released a new option we call Community Highlights this spring, a couple months ago. So yeah, this is basically, it's relatively new, and depending on the area of the country or the world where you are, we're really building it out. But basically, it's crowdsourced locations. Public restrooms, water fountains, bike shops, coffee shops. All the things that a cyclist want. Right? I need my espresso. I need to fill up some water. I need a restroom on my ride. I need a bike shop for some snacks or something. So basically, these are community-sourced points of interest, if you will, on the map that anybody can open the app and be able to find. So it's like, hey, I'm in a new area. Where is a great coffee shop? Or I'm in a new area. Where is a public restroom or a water fountain that I can go fill up my bottles? So that's, and anybody can submit those. So, if people are on the RAGBRAI route, or if you're riding at home and you're like, hey, this bike shop, my local bike shop isn't on here, you can submit that on our site. We'll check it out, make sure everything is good to go, and we'll add it there for other cyclists to be able to use and find.
It's super nice.
Yeah.
One
of the other really cool things, and I use this, I alluded to the trip I took earlier, was we have heat maps. We use global heat maps that basically take the data from all of our users, all of our cyclists, and I can see who's ridden this road in the last 7 days. Not who, but is this road or trail popular in the last 7 days or 30 days? So I can go to a new area, and if I don't know if these roads are safe, if cyclists use them, I don't want to get on an interstate, right? So I can look at these roads and see, oh yeah, this is really dark red. This is what the local cyclists are using, so I could plan a route using that. So that's a really pretty cool feature as well.
So what you're saying is, if you allow heat maps, every time a rider goes across the same route, it gets darker red? Is that kind of what you're saying? So
yeah, basically. Mm-hmm.
So if you pick a route and you engage the heat map, you can be like, okay, no one's ever gone on this road before, so it's probably not smart. Versus if it's dark red, this is popular for cyclists.
I can't wait to see the RAGBRAI heat map.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I remember it from last year. It was so cool to see.
Yeah, that's a really cool I use that here in Colorado with, we'll have snow until, April and May sometimes. So I'll pop on the 7-day heat map to see if anybody's riding up into the canyons. And if I don't see it, it's like, oh, there's still a lot of snow or ice up there. So I might just wait a couple days and then check back to see if it's folks are riding up there.
Okay. And so we're going to get into specifically about RAGBRAI Ride with GPS routes in a second. But let's just say I'm going to be in Des Moines, Iowa. I don't live in Des Moines, but I want to just access other routes that have already been entered into Ride with GPS. How do I do that?
Yeah, we have a explore feature. So basically it's a search function where you could put in a location, a state, a town, and, it's a quick search this area, and then various routes will pop up. And if they're public, it could be created by an individual. It could be created by a bike shop or a cycling club, or a tourism account. So if Des Moines has a tourism board and they have a account with us, they can create routes as well. So yeah, any public routes can be accessed by anyone searching either on the mobile app through our Explore function or on the website as well.
And so I just did it while you were talking, and I can see how the different colors of red. So I'm assuming that these are bike trails, the ones that are super, super dark red. And then if I click on, there's like a little green triangle. If I click on that, then it actually shows me a little graphic of the elevation. So if I want to maybe find a route that's flat, or if I'm training and I want to find a route that's steeper hills, this is cool.
Yeah, it's neat. See what you're in for.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You can get that I want to go on a short ride, but with a lot of climbing, or I'm feeling a little slow today. Yeah, I just want no elevation gain. So yeah, it gives you all those details, and it'll usually tell you if it's paved or unpaved as well, since we know gravel's becoming so much more popular. It might be 50-50 or 100% gravel, so people can search that way as well. I just want to get on my gravel bike and hit some farm roads.
Sure. And then you click into that, and then you can also choose to navigate to that start. You can save it, which I think we'll talk about that in a second, or share it. Like if you're with a bunch of friends, and maybe if me and AP are going to ride together. Really, really cool. If I want to use Ride with GPS, but I don't want people to know my route, is that a possibility too?
Yeah, absolutely. There's different privacy settings, so you can make your complete profile private, so nobody can see, who I am, where I ride, where I live. You can make certain routes private. Maybe your this is what you all do with RAGBRAI is the routes will be private until they're not.
Yeah. Yep.
So that they're getting tweaked and they're getting worked on. So we don't want to release that information and have sort of bogus information out there. But yeah, sometimes, race organizers or events will make routes private. You can also put privacy zones around maybe where you live or your place of business or your kid's school, so that it's basically just a large bubble that's very opaque, so that, somebody can't see this person's riding up to their garage every day. You can have this bubble that's just a very generic, I live in this area, but not a specific street address, or my business is right here. So we have different levels of privacy.
Okay, so I'm feeling like this is pretty robust. It's pretty fancy. Is there a cost to use it?
We have 3 different options. We do have most of our users use our free starter account, but we do have some other paid versions for people that might want some advanced planning tools. But on the free side of things, you can plan a route. You can export a file if you have a GPX file and you want to send it to your cycling computer. You can create a collection, which is sort of a folder system to organize your routes or your rides. You can wirelessly sync your GPS device. You can track your rides. Our global heat map that we talked about is free in our mobile app. So yeah, there's a lot of really cool features that aren't behind a paywall that folks can access for free.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, that's a lot of features that are not behind the paywall. So let's get serious about RAGBRAI. How do riders get the RAGBRAI routes? It's a big question.
Yeah, that's a big question. That's why we're here, right?
Yeah.
We will be right back.
At First Form, they're more than just supplements. They're built for performance, driven by purpose, and proud to fuel the RAGBRAI journey.
First Form helps real people earn real long-term results on the bike and beyond.
From clean energy to high-protein snacks that actually fuel you, they're here to keep you moving, recovering, and riding strong.
Come find the First Form team out on the route. Let's crush RAGBRAI together.
Now, back to the show.
There was an email sent out, I believe, recently with an RSVP link. So one for support drivers and one for cyclists. So folks would click that RSVP link. They would be RSVP to either one or both of the RAGBRAI events, support drivers or the cycling participants. They'll be able to download maps for offline use and then use those routes for the whole week.
Yep.
I would really recommend folks do this at home. Do your homework before you get to the expo. We saw this last year with 10,000 people with tiny little computers in their pockets, not a lot of cell data, not a lot of Wi-Fi signal out there. So, getting these routes and downloading them to your device and syncing them to your cycling computer at home would be really beneficial. Just makes everything a little bit smoother for day one.
Yeah, I think that's really, really important advice.
Right.
Because then not only will you be ensured that you have signal on your cell phone, but you'll just know that you're all set to go for RAGBRAI. And if you have any questions for Brett or the Ride with GPS team, you can ask them. You'll know what you need to ask, ahead of time. So it's also, I'm kind of a nervous person about a big event like this, and I like to get stuff set ahead of time. So I like to have it ready to go. I guess, and I asked you this question, and I'm the one who sent out all the information, so I should have answered it. But we do also have a page on the RAGBRAI website where you can go and you can find all of the routes together. So we do have the email that was sent out. So if you didn't see that, you can go to ragbrai.com/routes, or I'm sorry, it's route singular, and you can find all of these routes. That would be for not just bikes and vehicles, but if you're a support vehicle driver, you can go and you can find a route that both goes to the meeting town and then over to the overnight town, or you can skip the meeting town altogether, and there's a route where you just go straight from overnight town to overnight town. And there's a similar level of detail with the bike routes where you can kind of pick and choose exactly which routes you want to go on. Just pay attention when you're downloading them, because if you don't want to do gravel, there's gravel routes there. So don't download the wrong one.
And they do say.
They say
gravel.
They're clearly labeled.
So Brett, so I am on my Ride with GPS account. I pushed home and it kind of shows my recent activity. If I push the more button and then push my events, I get RAGBRAI LII 2025 support and RAGBRAI LII 2025. So can you tell me what the difference is between those?
Yeah, the support indicates it's the support drivers event. So folks that are driving the buses, support vehicles, that's the routes that they would be keyed in on and using to get from town to town, meeting place to meeting place. The other one would be for the cyclists. Folks can download those routes, like I said, for offline use. If there's spotty cell coverage on the route itself, people can then put their phones in airplane mode so they also don't chew through the battery. I know that can be sort of stressful where you're maybe out for a 70-mile bike ride. You want to take photos, you want to text your friends, but you also don't want to, chew through your cell phone battery. So downloading those maps for offline use and then popping your phone in airplane mode will help preserve your battery if you're using that to navigate the routes from meeting town to meeting town.
Yeah.
And if you like to know, which is how I am, like when you click on, let's say, day one route, I can literally see where I get to stop, where the hills are, whether or not it's paved, all the elevation. I mean, there's so much information within each day.
Yeah, absolutely. There's little icons on the elevation profiles that will show the bike shops on there or aid stations. So yeah, there's tons of information. People should never be scared that they're going to run out of information or there's not enough information on there. So yeah, the RAGBRAI team has done a great job building the routes, adding them to the platform, making sure all the pertinent information is there so folks can just ride their bikes and have fun and not worry about where they're going or how they're getting there or where to stop for, a cold drink.
Yeah. I think it kind of answers the question of, you can't get lost on RAGBRAI. Why would you need a GPS route? Well, first of all, people like that information. I like to know when there's a hill coming up, but it also tells you stuff like you just mentioned, like where are the stops? Where are the bike shops? It's all sorts of really handy stuff that could be useful to you besides turn left, turn right, go straight.
Mm-hmm.
There also is a graphic within each day when you click on the Ride with GPS day. That is the graphic that you'll see on the RAGBRAI website that tells you service times. And AP, will you really quick tell listeners what service time means?
A service time is where the time window for which the sag wagons will help you and the bike shops will be operating. So every day they cut off at a certain time just to kind of keep the route moving along. Mm-hmm. So the route opens at 6 a.m. It closes as a whole at 6 p.m., but each town will have an individual time when it closes. Mm-hmm. So it's when the services stop being provided.
So Brett, just a question. I'm looking at the route right now. I think this is great. It's the morning of day one. I'm ready to go. I've downloaded this for offline use. How do I find it?
Yeah, this will be in your route library. So there'll be on the bottom, there's a couple little tabs there. There'll be your library. You click that button and then your library pops up. Will be rides, routes, pinned and offline. So because you've downloaded for offline use, you'll click offline.
Oh yeah, cool.
That day one route will pop up and then you click that orange button on the bottom left that says navigate and it says, starting navigation. So
Perfect.
Then you'll be able to download, you'll be able to get to your next destination.
Yeah. So easy.
Yeah. And if you do it ahead of time and sync with your bike computer, it will also be found on your bike computer. Mm-hmm. Mine just shows right up there. It's really nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really slick.
So we've answered this already, but I just want to say it one more time. So what happens if we're in an area where we don't have Wi-Fi, we don't have even cell service? Is everything still fine if you're in offline mode?
Yeah, if you're in offline mode, that's the beauty of it. With people that are going through poor cell service areas or in wilderness areas or on trails, mm-hmm. Yeah, those local networks or connecting to those local networks can be challenging. So if you've got the routes downloaded for offline use, none of that really matters. Yeah, it'll work in airplane mode just great.
It's so easy. It's a fantastic solution for a ride like RAGBRAI where you just really can't count on having your phone.
Yeah. So you mentioned that you can have Ride with GPS on your phone. You can have it as an app. You can have it on your computer at home. How do you sign up for Ride with GPS?
Yeah, we have, you can sign up on the web or you can download the mobile app. We have an iOS version or an Android version. We also offer a free 7-day trial to anyone that's looking to maybe check out some of our more advanced features. One of the things that we found to be really powerful, because we're not naive, we know that the app is, there's a lot of bells and whistles. There's a lot of stuff going on, just like you both have alluded to, and there's a lot of really cool features. And sometimes there's where do I start? Like, there's so many cool things here. Like, how do I even get into this? We do offer one-on-one and group webinars every week. Our support team will set those up for folks that are interested in just like deep diving and getting into the app and route planning and finding and searching different routes. So anybody that starts a trial can sign up for one of those and really get a really in-depth tutorial from one of our support folks to help them learn more and just use the app better.
Doesn't really get better than one-on-one tutorials. So
it's amazing. It's an amazing offer for sure.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing, I don't know, AP and I are not one of them, but there are probably people out there that don't use Apple phones, iPhones. So is there an app for non-iPhone users?
Yeah, we do have an Android version as well. So
Perfect.
folks that have an Android can still download the app and get all the same features. They're always released within a few days of each other as the developers work through those different problems that the
So I think, okay, we got to say it again. All you procrastinators like me, when you're done listening to this episode, you still have, well, if you're listening to this episode when it airs, you still have a week or so before RAGBRAI starts. So, Brett, tell us a couple of steps that we can take before we get to the expo so that we're ready to go if we want to use Ride with GPS.
Yeah, absolutely. So folks out there, dig through your email inbox, look for that email that the folks at RAGBRAI sent, click one of those RSVP links, and then you'll be RSVP to the event. You can download the routes to your mobile app from home. You can save them to your cycling computer if you haven't done that. You can connect your device. There's some really easy tutorials how to connect your Wahoo or your Garmin, whatever one you choose to use. And then you'll have that stuff ready to go when you show up to day zero.
Exciting. One other thing I'd like to add is that if you're listening to this when it airs, Brett will have just been on our RAGBRAI town hall, our final town hall before the ride. So if you want a little bit more Ride with GPS info, I encourage you to go to the RAGBRAI YouTube page and watch that town hall because we have them all recorded and saved on YouTube.
Okay. And then, Brett, tell us about the expo. What will you be doing at the expo with Ride with GPS?
Yeah, my colleague Justin and I will be there at the expo. We'll be giving out high fives. We'll be helping solve some tech problems. We'll be offering up some RAGBRAI and Ride with GPS temporary tattoos that are really pretty cool. So you can get a temporary tattoo while supplies last. So yeah, stop by. We're there to help. We're there to troubleshoot. We're there to just talk about bikes. We're cyclists and we like to ride and talk about riding. So come stop by and say hi and let us help you.
You said temporary tattoos. Murph and I are going to be first in line.
There you go.
Well, and I really, really want that high five. So I'll be doing that too. We may even record
high five and temporary tattoo.
We're
Yeah,
We're gonna record that like on video, right?
Okay, all right.
Good. Well,
I like it.
Brett, is there anything else that we missed that you want to share about Ride with GPS?
No, I think we covered it. That was some great questions, and yeah, I think we're really looking forward to being at the expo again this year and helping riders navigate this. No pun intended. But yeah, just to stop by, ask us, pepper us with questions. But I'm looking forward to it and had a great time last year. So I'm sure it's just going to be the same this year.
Yeah. Well, thanks for joining us once again. I can't wait to see you in person in Orange City.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
All right. Thanks, Brett.
You're welcome.
Well, listeners, that is it for today. We want to thank you for tuning in to listen to the Just Go Bike podcast. If you would like to contact Murph and AP with a comment about the podcast, or maybe even you have a topic in mind, you can reach us at justgobikepodcast@gmail.com. Please follow us on Instagram and Facebook and watch our intros on YouTube. And don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to this podcast, especially if you're a fan. That is going to do it for this week. Until next time,
Just go bike!
theme song by Ryan Steer, logo by Suzanne Milosevic, produced by Kathy Murphy, social media by Andrea Parrott, intro by Pumpkin. Until next time, just go bike.